Satang Prasanga. Talks between devotees.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's session. I pray that all is well with you and your families during this lockdown, and that the classes that we're doing are having meaning to you and assisting you during this difficult time. So please read with me as we read today through Sutra number 10. Often, timing strains our faith and trust. It can stretch our faith to its breaking point. Although we may feel fearfully cut off from Krishna's mercy, we must willfully trust the caring and unfailing affection of Krishna and his servants. When we're trying to find meaning in life, and especially at the point of breaking point, when all else has failed, we see that with Arjuna as well. Right on the chariot, I can't do it anymore. His skin started burning. He just completely had a mental breakdown. So that's a really devastating moment in one's life when one is trying to find meaning. This is an essential point, trying to find meaning to what is going on. We see there's two books. One is the Bhagavad Gita and one is the dictionary. Both of them have the same kind of words. Actually, all the words you find in Bhagavad Gita English version will be in the English dictionary. English dictionary also gives one level of meaning. Bhagavad Gita gives another level of meaning. Are they both the same? So we have to see, we can't always consult the dictionary for the meaning of life. We have to consult also Bhagavad Gita. Both have meaning, but different levels of meaning. So when we're at that breaking point, we have to consult with something that's transcendental. It's a beautiful word that Prabhupada only used. I've never read this word in other books, transcendental. So we have to find meaning in transcendental books, transcendental nature of things. Otherwise, the breaking point will literally break us. I remember in the early years, I came across a picture. You know the Dobiwala here and the donkey. The famous stories of the Dobiwala and the donkey and how he packs this animal up with all the clothes. And at the end of the day, what does he give him? Just a morsel of grass, just to fill his belly, something. So there was a picture, it was quite humorous because this Dobiwala had a cart behind the donkey. And the cart was loaded so heavy with clothes that the donkey lifted up. So he was gone even beyond the point of breaking. He was, off the air, off this planet. So when we're trying to look at life and ascertain meaning, it has to come from a deeper text than the dictionary. We see Srila Prabhupada he always said, I never felt alone. Although I was alone, I never felt alone because I always felt the presence of my spiritual master. And we were narrating the other day how he would reach these breaking points, typewriter stolen. He would go to the Boston Harbor and find out, is there any, when's the next trip to India? Because he's at this point now where, what should I do next? I'm an old man. I'm in this place with molechas. Molecha means person who's out of the Vedic tradition. And yavanas. Yavana means one who eats meat. So I'm dealing with these kind of level of consciousness, and I'm trying to give them spiritual transcendental knowledge. How is this possible, Krishna? If it wasn't possible, then you wouldn't bring me here. You wouldn't do this to your devotee. Make him leave Vrindavan to come to this place. Why would you do that to an old man? But he knew Krishna had a deeper meaning to things. So he would say, I never felt alone. I always felt the presence of my spiritual master. We see he would exert himself in Delhi. That one incident while distributing books in the summer, hot sun, he had a heat stroke and he fainted. And they didn't know what to do, so they took him. At that time he was staying in Chipivada. Actually, this Chipivada temple is very interesting. In 2014, so because Prabhupada would travel from Delhi to, there was no Agra highway at that time, it would be really difficult. And so Prabhupada would travel from Delhi to Vrindavan and Vrindavan back to Delhi, like that, distributing the books, Back to Godhead magazines that he wrote. So he would stay there at this Chipivada temple, Radha Vallabh temple, Radha Vallabh. And then in 1966, when he went to America, he left his things there. And in 71, when he came back with Achyutananda Prabhu and Kirtananda Prabhu, then at that time, he went back to that place and he showed them where he stayed and like that. And then after that, for many years, that place was locked. And India, when they put a lock, they really put a tala, real lock. So in 2014, the Delhi management came under the service of that temple. And then it came under ISKCON name, which was very wonderful. And for the first time after many years, they opened that lock. And what did they find inside? They found Prabhupada's belongings were still there. They found his harmonium. They found some transcripts of rules that he was writing. And His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj verified, yes, this is Prabhupada's handwriting. And they found a Sanskrit manual. There was a Sanskrit book there, which they don't know as yet what it is, whether Prabhupada wrote it or not, because it's in Sanskrit. So that was also found. It was like a treasure chest. It was very interesting. So I'm telling you this, so if you're ever visiting Vrindavan and visiting Delhi, go and visit this Chipivada temple. It's near Chandni Chowk. Very, very nice place, and it's under ISKCON service now, so you can visit there. So it says here today, often timing strains our faith and trust. Because if the time is not right and we're expecting it to happen now, and then it strains our faith becomes strained. And not only faith, our trust that Krishna, I'm doing everything right, but why is it not happening? Why is it not working? It goes on to say, this is like the punchline here, which really blew my mind. It says here, often timing strains our faith and trust. It can stretch our faith to its breaking point. Wow. How many times has that happened to you, where you just reach that breaking point and you just don't know what to do, where to go, who to turn to? You've tried everyone now, and you just feel alone. You feel rejected, hurt. But don't worry, he gives some hope. Although we may feel fearfully cut off from Krishna's mercy, at that time it feels fearful. One devotee was telling Prabhupada, I've tried so much to serve within the society, but I just can't get on with the people, and I'm just going to leave. And Prabhupada says, no, don't go, because he would treasure and really appreciate every single person's help. Even the most insignificant person, he would say, you are all being sent by my Guru Maharaj to help me. So you would appreciate everyone. And that devotee was saying, I'm going to leave Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada says, well, you can leave, I cannot leave. So when things are going tough, Prabhupada cannot leave. Because this is the mission of my spiritual master. I have to stay. So what is the threshold of such a consciousness? Where's that person's breaking point? There is no breaking point, because he's so committed, he's so enduring. Prabhupada faced many adversities, Juhu temple was one where he would be so disturbed that he wouldn't even eat. They would bring the prasadam in and he would just wave it away. He won't eat because he's so disturbed by this cheating that Mr. Naya did. And Prabhupada said that Nrsingadev actually took care of Mr. Naya. Why? It's because he gave the land. And Prabhupada said, it's not, if he just sold it to me and then he took it back, maybe we could have worked something out. But I installed Radha Ras Bihari on that land, and then he started the cheating. No, you don't do that to Krishna. You don't do that to Krishna. So he said, I installed the deities already on this land and now he's starting the cheating? No. So Prabhupada would be so disturbed by this Juhu project at that time. Point of breaking, but still going on. Just taking shelter of the holy name, just chanting, pacing up and down, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And he would walk up and down, chanting and pacing. So I remember one time, I was also having a bit of challenge in my particular service, and I was confiding with a senior devotee at that time, and I was telling him, I feel I've reached the bottom. And then he says, you don't know that your bottom is not bottom yet. You must reach bedrock, rock bottom, bedrock. Then you know what's bottom. So he was sharing some experiences in his life. And one day, I was in Lanesha temple at that time, and my Guru Maharaj came by, and he didn't speak much throughout his visit that particular time. He was staying for like a few days, but he didn't speak much. And then when he was going, I was walking with him to the car. He still didn't speak much. He didn't say anything actually. And then he jumped in the car, he sat in the car, he closed the door, and I'm thinking, hey, he's going now, but he didn't share anything with me. And then he opened the window and he says, if you know what Lord Chaitanya has got planned for you, you will scream. I was like, oh boy, here it comes, tsunami and all. It was, and that stuck with me, that if we really know what Krishna has got planned, we will scream. Because really he wants to get us out of this material world. And we were talking about yesterday about the tiger. We were trying to kill the tiger, and he's trying to wake us up from the dream. So it says here at the end, we must willfully trust his caring and unfailing affection of Krishna and his servants. We got to trust Krishna's affection. Therefore, all this can only work, this higher level of consciousness where it seems like you're not affected. It can only work if you have relationship with Krishna. Because you know who he is, you trust that he will help you. You've built a relationship on trust and love. And therefore, you know He will be there to assist you, to help you out of the difficulty. You don't doubt that He's there. You're just not sure when the time is going to happen. And we explain that this is part of a feature of Krishna. He did that to the Brajbasis also. But He comes through. At the end, He will come through in His time. So I hope you learned something, shared something from today's discussion. Please join us again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.